start by telling us about your background and your role as the GM of JW Marriott Khao Lak Resort and Spa?
Sure. So I've been with the hotel industry and Marriott International for about 21 years now. Started back in India at the JW Marriott Mumbai, which was one of our iconic hotels, and since then I've moved to different hotels, mostly in Southeast Asia, predominantly with the JW Marriott brand, which I resonate with a lot personally, and came to the JW Marriott Khao Lak January 1st, 2022. And as a GM, I'm of course involved in all capacities to make sure the hotel is running in line with Marriott's overall overarching strategies, and I'm captaining the ship to hopefully greater successes.
What motivated you personally to get involved with the Oceans for All Foundation and support the Shark Nursery project?
So as you may or may not know, the hotel used to be a well-established resort here in the south of Thailand over the last 15 odd years. We expanded in size through COVID, went from 290 rooms to about 424, plus we opened a 2-bedroom suite resort as well, with added facilities. And therefore we went through a whole repositioning. As part of the repositioning, one of the important cornerstones was sustainability, and a lot of our activities and experiences had to revolve around this pillar, and that's when we got to work cracking to find out what we can do on the sustainability piece to really own something, and got in touch at that stage with Oceans for All to understand what we can do in line with marine conservation, given of course we are on the fabulous Kukhat beach, and as a beach resort we get a lot out of being in this location. So the first kind of initiative that came to our mind was to do something around marine conservation, for which we needed an expert partner, and that was in the way of Oceans for All, who I believe are experts when it comes to marine life, as well as ocean conservation, who we approached and then understood about the bamboo shark being an apex predator in their small ecosystems, being on the near endangered list, and was something that we felt as a hotel we could work along with experts to set up this beautiful project here at JW Khao Lak.
What were your initial thoughts on the Shark Nursery project?
Personally, I was very intrigued. I've done a few marine conservation efforts in some of my other hotels, also beach resorts in Thailand and Vietnam, which was more on the corals side of the marine ecosystem. We had to find something which is very native to the waters around us, where we can really make a meaningful difference. So it was the first time working with sharks, so I was very intrigued, right? Because the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about sharks is, it's dangerous. And so the first thing was obviously trying to understand more about this beautiful animal and the impact of its overfishing is having on the ecosystems around us. So I was very intrigued about it, and as I learned more and more, I got more confidence to be able to pull this off with Oceans for All and with our fantastic team here to really create a big difference.
How was the hotel staff received and being involved in supporting the project?
I think the hotel staff is very excited, right? Because end of the day, we are not marine conservationists. We are hoteliers. We run rooms, food and beverage. We know how to take care of our guests. So for them to learn something entirely different, for them to really be part of a project that we own as a hotel, where we are making a meaningful impact in the marine ecosystems around us, was truly very, very fulfilling. It even exceeded my expectations from them. And as we've been able to generate more and more interest, not only have they educated themselves, but are now looking at ways of other forms of sustainability and projects that we can put in place in the hotel, which has actually led to them coming up with a beautiful concept of a farm, which we also run now, concurrent to the marine conservation. We run a land conservation project under the umbrella of a JW garden, where we are at the moment working with environmentalists to adopt a native mangrove species. So this Bamboo Shark Nursery and the success of it has not only educated our team, but has also, I think, sparked their imagination to further the hotel on the sustainability front, leading to more projects. So it's extremely well received with the associates.
How is your involvement with the project been received by your guests and the broader community?
Very, very well, both with the guests and the community. I think apart from the associates or the staff, these are two other buckets that we work with very closely. Firstly, from the guest. I mean, when we set out for this project, the mission was actually not just to revive the bamboo shark populations in the local waters around us and give them a helping hand, get them strong enough to release them in the wild, thereby increasing their populations. The second part of the project was also awareness. Right? We can make a small, meaningful difference with the number of sharks that we release, which I think at the moment is around 21 sharks. But looking at the broader, bigger need, we need to spread awareness, right? And I think we've been very successful with the marine biologists from Oceans for All and our own efforts to educate our guests, children, who are obviously the ambassadors of the future when it comes to the environment. And the guests have taken it very positively, because not only do they have a good time, but the kids also learn something in a very different environment from a traditional classroom that they would get back home. So exceedingly well received by the guests. We also involve the local community. Whenever we do our shark releases, we've done a few sessions for local schools who don't normally get access to such facilities. So for them to get first-hand practical experience about these things and not just see all of this on the television has been absolutely phenomenal. The funding that we've achieved through both the local community and the guests is testament to the success, which I think is in the tune of around 365,000 baht or more at this point of time. So yeah, it's had a huge impact on guests, associates, as well as the community alike.
What does the success of the Shark Nursery mean to you on a personal level? And can you share a memorable moment or highlight from your involvement with the project?
Like I said, I mean, I always wanted to do a lot of our experiences around sustainability. And this is not just a new trend or a buzzword, but for Marriott International, it is a very, very important, it's a habit. It is the way we do our business. It's not negotiable, right? Gone are the days where we are negotiating about putting plastic bottles in the guest room or not. Now we are doing everything as part of Marriott Serve 360 model, which is about doing good in every direction, right from supporting the community to managing food waste, to looking at our carbon emissions, to doing energy audits. There's a lot going on in this space, but to really stand out within all the hotels whose I think everyone is involved in one way or the other on the conservation front, and particularly in Marriott, I think I personally wanted to have something that we can really own and call ourselves, and why not, right? Be known for. So it was very fulfilling to stand out in the pack and say that this is our tangible practice that we are doing here, which is fast become one of the best practices for Marriott here in the south of Thailand. So it was exceedingly fulfilling. When we first started out, of course, we were very excited about it, but the proof is in the pudding. So once that was realized, I was personally very, very satisfied that a project which was different, which is not something that we specialize in as hoteliers, was successful. So yeah, very, very happy and personally fulfilled.
How do you envision the continued collaboration between JW, Marriott, Khao Lak Resort and Spa, and Oceans for All?
Very positive, to say the least, right? I mean, the success that I've spoken about only gives us more fuel to expand this project. In fact, in the first year itself, which was a true testament to the success of this project, is that we enhanced the Bamboo Shark Nursery already with the funding that we received that I just spoke about. So we started with about 4 tanks, and now we've added 1 additional big tanks to be able to further speeden up the shark releases this year. So going by that, I only see this relationship strengthening and possibly leading to further conservation efforts that we can involve with Oceans for All, for not only for our hotel but also other hotels in the south of Thailand.
Do you have a message that you'd like to share with other hotel managers and businesses about getting involved in environmental initiatives such as the Shark Nursery Fund?
In 2 words, I would say do it. All right. I mean, as resorts, more than even city hotels, we gain so much out of the environment that we operate in. Whether we are on the beach, whether we are in the forest, whether we are in in a hinterland, we gain a lot. People travel to our locations or our hotels because of the location that we get so much out of for free, right? And it is time for us to give back. We can't do it by ourselves. Yes, it requires a village, it requires the local authorities, it requires so many stakeholders to make a true difference. But by doing what we are doing, not only are we making a small impact, but like I said before, we are creating a huge step in awareness, which is so important, particularly in the Asian markets. So this is something that we owe it to the environment that we operate in, the communities that we operate in, which we get so much out of by being successful resorts. So look at it. I mean, we always talk about being too busy or not having the right resources. But if we really want to make a difference, if the intent is there, as much as making the resort successful or having a strong bottom line performance in terms of financials, I'm sure we can do something or the other. Whether it is doing something in the hotel with your own people, whether it is working with the right partners, different strokes for different hotels. But if the intent is there, I believe it can be done, big or small. So I urge every single hotelier, not only hotelier, every business owner to try and see what impact that they can make, both from creating a meaningful difference that can be tracked, but also in terms of spreading the message. So it will benefit the community in more ways than one.
How can viewers of this interview and the public support the Shark Nursery project and the efforts of the foundation and of your Shark Nursery?
I think first of all, coming and experiencing it is step one, right? They are still, like in our case here, in the high season, we have a captive audience of 1,000 to 1,500 guests in here on a daily basis, right? That is more than any university around the world, right? So first of all, come here and experience the Bamboo Shark Nursery for yourself. See what we are doing, understand the risks that are associated with marine life, contribute through donations, whether it is by adopting sharks in the Bamboo Shark Nursery itself, involving your corporate programming for big corporates to incorporate this as part of their programming and donate funds, to making small donations when they check out on their individual bills, because all of this funding will then be utilized to further the efforts over here at the JW Khao Lak. And lastly, spread the word, right? Everyone today has got at least one or two social media platforms, post pictures, talk about what we're doing, spread awareness, because ultimately that is really the backbone of sustainability in the future, especially with younger adults, right, which is fast becoming the dominant kind of clientele that we have in hotels. So experience it, contribute financially, and spread the word to really create a difference.